Hey guys, you're watching Python tutorial videos on my YouTube channel Python for Microscopists. In this tutorial, let's quickly cover the topic of bilateral filter, which is a denoising filter. And this is one among the 3, 4, 5 most prominent or most commonly used denoising filters, in addition to, for example, median filter or total variation filter, non-local means filter, and of course, bilateral is one of these denoising filters that we have available in our toolkit, obviously for image denoising. So before writing these two lines of code, let's quickly understand exactly what this is. And don't be intimidated by these equations. I just took these from online, I guess from Wikipedia, and pasted them here. So if you are a math, into equations, you can clearly see exactly what it's doing. But in summary, bilateral filter is an edge preserving denoising filter. Okay, and it replaces each pixel value with a weighted average of nearby pixels. In fact, if you look at this equation again, even if you're a biologist, let me quickly explain this in plain English. So 1 over WP, this is nothing but the weight, okay? So it's a weighted average of nearby pixels. So if you look at what's going on inside this equation, think of P and Q are the two pixels, nearby pixels, okay? So the spatial location is one of the parameters that's important. In addition to that, it also takes into account the variation of intensities at these two pixel locations, okay? And this helps preserve the edges, okay? So the first term here is the spatial term, and the second term here is the intensity term. So if you have a gray value, so that's the gray value term. If it is a color pixel, then that's the color pixel, the color value at that pixel location. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So these two, again, just a summary, the sigma S and sigma R, they control the amount of filtering. And S stands for spatial. It controls the influence of the distant pixels, okay, or the distant pixels contributing towards the filtering here. And how does that affect the weight? And the second term here is again the range. It controls the influence of pixels with intensity value different from the pixel intensity. So if my pixel intensity is, I don't know, 125, and if the next pixel is 255, that's pretty large, right? How does that actually affect the smoothing or denoising at a given pixel? Now let's actually look at this in a graphic. So if your input image looks like this, okay, and you have a sharp edge right here, okay, and then your intensity is changing right over there. Now the filter, the spatial weight, as you can see, it looks like a Gaussian here. So that's the spatial weight. In addition to that, you have a range weight, okay? This is again, range is nothing but the controls the influence of pixel intensity. Okay, so this is the weight based on the pixel intensity. Now you combine these two, you get a kernel, if you want to call it, or a weight that looks like this. Obviously, a combination of these two. Okay, which means the resultant image, your edges are still pretty nice and sharp, and your how should I say that the homogeneous areas or supposedly homogeneous areas seem to be smoothed pretty well. So this is a quick summary of bilateral filter. Again, go ahead and Google search for much better documentation if you want to get into the details of this. But at a high level, hopefully this makes some sense. Now, how do you implement this in Python? Again, there are two ways, well, probably more, but it's available as part of OpenCV package. You just do OpenCV, I mean, import your CV2 dot bilateral filter, or you can actually use this under scikit image, skimage dot restoration dot denoise bilateral. Okay, in both cases the parameters should be pretty similar, right? So your first parameter is going to be your image array, and the second parameter is your window size. How large of a window would you like to use? The next one is the sigma color and sigma space. These are nothing but these two, sigma S and sigma R. Okay, and finally, the border type. The border type is, again, how do you want to deal with the edge pixels? Okay, in this case, I'm adding a constant value with a value of 0. Okay, so let's jump into the code. Let me open our Spider interface here, and let me clear some of the variables from our last tutorial where we talked about median filtering. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start. In fact, let me copy these lines of code here so we don't have to rewrite it. So I'm importing my OpenCV, NumPy, and I'm importing my scikit image. I'm not sure if we need this, but let's leave it for now. And from scikit image filters, import median. I don't think we need to do that. We are not doing median. And let's import our image. Let's actually, instead of salt and pepper, let's import a Gaussian image. Okay, so Gaussian noise image, where I artificially added like 25 sigma of Gaussian noise, and I think I called it 25 sigma noisy.jpg. Okay, so let's import that image, and I'm going to assign this as img, which makes it easy for me to type later on. So now let's go ahead and run this just to make sure everything is working fine. So that's okay. Okay, so far we just imported the image. We just loaded the NumPy array corresponding to this image. Okay, so now how do we apply the bilateral filter? Again, going back to this presentation, so cv2.bilateral. So in fact, let me go ahead and copy that and paste it here. So let's say bilateral using cv2 is let me open this up, cv2.bilateral filter. I called my image as img, right? This is what we labeled it there. And my D is going to be, let's just put it as 5 pixels, and sigma color is 20. One thing you have to realize here is OpenCV deals with numbers as unsigned integers. So when I type 20, this is like a value of 20. Now, apparently under scikit image, it converts this automatically when you call this function bilateral. Converts your image into a floating point. So the values would be between 0 and 1, okay, when it comes to the sigma color. But when it comes to the spatial, you still have the spatial value, numbers in pixels, right? So this is 714 by 901 pixels. So let's get there in a second. Sigma space, I don't know, we can just go ahead and start by a value of 100. Again, at this point, I have no clue what works. You just need to experiment. Now, border type, I covered this previously in my last 2 or 3 tutorials, and this is how you would like to deal with your border pixels. So I'm going to add a constant border, okay? So this is how, and let's go ahead and run this just to make sure everything works. Okay, that's fine, so no issues. Now, how do we do this in scikit image? From skimage.restoration, let's go ahead and import denoise bilateral, right? So if I go back to my PowerPoint presentation, skimage restoration, denoise bilateral. Okay, that's what we are trying to do here, denoise bilateral. Now, my image bilateral using skimage is equal to what? Denoise bilateral. Okay, and what parameters are we going to use? Again, image, window size, sigma color, sigma spatial, and mode. So now let's start with our image. Our image is img, and our let's skip this. Let's actually do sigma color. I mean, you can give window size if you want. I'm just skipping this, and I'm just it uses default window. I believe default window is 3 or 5. You can look at the documentation. Sigma color, again, this is the intensity value that we are supposed to give. And because, again, this automatically converts this into a floating point, the values must be between 0 to 1. So I'm given a sigma color value of 0.05. And then sigma spatial, spatial, sigma spatial, let's just give 15 pixels. The spatial is nothing but the in pixels, right? So this is 15 pixels right now. Now, in addition, you can basically say multi-channel equals to true or false. Okay, so multi-channel equals to false because our image that we are importing is importing as a gray image. So this should be fine. Let's actually go ahead and run this and see if everything is okay. uh, I realized that the bilateral in scikit image is lot slower than the bilateral filter using in OpenCV. Again, I haven't looked into their individual implementations, but this is one thing I've noticed just by using this. Okay, there you go. It took a little while, and while it's doing that, I actually typed our imshow commands over here, so we can go ahead and have a look at this these images. So let's run these lines, and let me bring my images from the other screen. So this is using SK image, and here it is using CV2. So where is my original image? It's got to be somewhere. Oh, it's hiding over there. So this is my original image, and this is the bilateral using OpenCV, and here is the bilateral using scikit-image. In fact, OpenCV did a slightly better job. Again, it probably depends on the parameters over there. But again, go ahead and play with these numbers. Just a second, let me go ahead and these numbers, sigma color and sigma spatial. I believe if you use a very large sigma color value, then it becomes a the filter almost becomes a Gaussian blur filter. Okay, and if your spatial filter is a large value, and when you increase the spatial filter, then that smooths larger features in a way. Okay, so go ahead and play with this and see how it works on your specific images. But here it is, bilateral filter. After all this lecture, I should mention that bilateral, I've seen it work fine on, for example, some MRI images. But for the most part, my favorite denoising filter, at least one of the top two three, is a non-local means denoising filter, and definitely not a bilateral. Again, this may work very well for your application, but so it's very important for you to understand, what bilateral filter is. But again, please remember that there are other choices out there. So in the next tutorial, let's go ahead and cover the topic of non-local means filtering. And until then, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for your time.